inspire reality. Turn your dreams into reality. Dreams inspire reality.
Welcome to another episode of Dreams Inspire Reality. Today I have the fabulous Heather and Dino, and I'm going to read their bios real quick. I'm so excited to have them on. This is like a power couple. Let's forget about all the superstars, but this is like legit power couple right here. So I'm just excited to have them share all the secrets. Well, they ain't going to share all the secrets, but some of the secrets with us and some great tips on how to be married and have a successful business. But first, you guys probably want to know who they are if you don't already. So real quick, Dino and Heather are the brainchild of Curlkit. And I'm sure you guys have known about Curlkit, and it's one of the largest natural hair subscription services for multicultural women with curly hair in America. Since its inception in 2012, Curlkit has featured over 300 brands and has been instrumental in helping many small businesses get exposure to natural hair community. I'm so excited to have you guys on, and I normally read a part of your bio, and I also have you guys introduce yourself because it's normally better coming from you. So if you were to say in a few sentences who you are, who are you?
Well, I'm Heather. I am the, again, with small, just not copying what you said, but to say I am the founder and co-founder and what's the word? Partner of Curlkit. My husband next to me, him and I came up with this with my small struggles of trying to find the hair products, living in a remote area with no access to beauty hair products with my hair. And Curlkit just formed out of a struggle that he supported.
One of the things that I love about the business is the fact that we're able to help so many women along the natural hair journey. Similar to my wife, we've helped over 50,000 women at this point. So that's what I really take pride in. To help make that journey easier for these women.
I love it. And so let's talk about when you started, because when you started, I'm sure there weren't a lot of subscription-based companies back then in 2012, but now there's like literally turn around and there's one popping up everywhere, right? So How was that challenge, like starting off in the marketplace, being different, being one of the only back then? Like, how was that?
Well, for me, one of the things that we saw when we entered into the market in 2012, it was like the Wild West. We really had to be pioneers and blaze a trail, because there was no manuals, there was no courses on how to do a subscription box. So we pretty much had to learn everything, trial and error, and have a bunch of bumps and bruises along the way. But we was able to just keep trying something, and if it worked, keep working at it until we was able to put our own system together.
Yeah, there was very little information out there. And when you say, oh, I'm doing a subscription box or a subscription service, they're like, what? And you felt like, in its early stage, and we stuck with it.
And one question that I always ask my guests is, are you living your dream life right now? That's a long pause.
I think at this point, I feel like I'm living it, but I think I'm in the beginning of it, because there's so much more that I would love to see happen. You set your goals. I can tell you definitely I am living the life I didn't expect. In 2012, I just was trying to solve my own problem. I didn't even think about it being something bigger than this. It was just, I need hair products. I need access to it. I need to be able to, find ways to maintain this natural thing on my hair, because again, being natural, woman of color and natural, there tends to be limitations in the beauty industry, and I feel like no one was listening. So I decided to just kind of, put a door up that no one else was offering. And I definitely feel like I'm living my dream because I realized that I didn't have to wait. I just decided to make that path.
And for me, I think this is something that we never really expected. We had no idea that it was going to become this big, or it was going to get so much traction. People was really going to enjoy what we were producing. Originally, when we started, we were both working for the state, and we just thought this was going to be with it.
Yeah.
Love it. And so let's take our audience a bit back, because I know there might be someone out there listening that has an idea for a subscription-based business, but they're like, well, there's so many people in the market right now. How did you start off? Like, how did you find your market? How did you know who your audience was going to be, your customers? Like, can you take us back to like the very beginning? Like, what were some of the things you looked for? How did you get to the idea? I know you, Heather, had a challenge, but like, why did you not just come up with a hair care product? Why was it a subscription-based box?
I think it was, go ahead, just start, because I know that definitely a little bit it was, I kind of felt like I was looking for a community. That's what it was, because there was no YouTube, really. YouTube didn't really form in this sense.
Gotcha.
There was no Instagram, technically. Well, actually, correction, there was Instagram, but the way everything was formed, you kind of realized that social media kind of helped bring a community of people sharing a common interest, which was really kind of where it formed. And I started to find that there were other women sharing the same story, not being able to find or be able to try products that are not accessible in their area. And Dino, kind of jumped in because he's very good, resourceful. He's always on the hunt for how to like solve a solution. I think as a husband, when I came to him saying, I can't find products, where am I going to go? And then I'll say, well, I'll just drive up back to my old neighborhood where it was a predominantly very multicultural area, so products were accessible. And he's like, well, why are you doing that? Let's try to find a way to figure out this. He's always trying to remind me, like, let's try to solve a solution. Let's try to help solve a solution. And he just sparked my interest. He just kind of helped me redefine how to really, narrow down what I wanted in my issue. I wanted to narrow down how to solve my problem.
I think my wife was our target market.
Yeah.
A lot of businesses, a lot of people who are looking to start a business, you're going to be that ideal person, and you can look at what you're having struggles with, what your pain points are, and these are some of the things that you can try to solve. I know there's no way that she could be the only person that's having challenges finding natural hair care products, or even finding products that are going to be healthy as well as help them with their hair care regimen. And I knew there was no way that she could be the only one who had that problem. So once we started talking to other people, we saw that this was a common issue, especially with so many people transitioning to natural hair at the time.
Yeah.
I love that. And just going back as well in terms of like, now a lot of businesses come on, they're like, well, I have this idea for a subscription box, but they expect overnight success with their, their idea. How, can you give us some insight on like, how long did it take you to really get those numbers up, those subscribers? Because right now you're operating a multi-million-dollar brand, but it didn't start like that, I'm sure. So can you just tell us like, how long did it take you? How many subscribers did you start with? And when it started to really pivot and take off for you?
Well, that's actually a funny story. I think our first month, we shipped maybe 75 boxes. And it was so small that we could just do it right in our living room at the time. We just had a couple people over, had some pizza, and had a box party. And we packed the boxes. It took us a few months, I'd say at least 3 to 6 months, to really start getting traction. We were getting positive word of mouth from the people who were already getting the boxes. And I think the key was really investing in the experience early, making sure that everybody that got those boxes was overwhelmed and really enjoyed the experiences. Those was our best advocates, and still are. The people are the word of mouth has been our best form of advertising. So we just grew from the 75, and we were doubling really month over month, every month, pretty much during that first year. I think we did a press release. I think it was like 12,000% we grew from the first month. So that's kind of once you got traction and momentum, it was like it just took on a life of its own.
75 is a lot, though.
Yeah,
75 is not bad to start.
Yeah, I guess we were like just looking at it like, oh my God, the first 75 was a success for us. We weren't even looking at it as like, okay, come on, 500. It was just like this. It was awesome just to start with the first 75 because it's like you have a community that believed in you. And I feel like when people decide that they're going to invest in something you build, it starts to like, you just start to organically want to, continue to do something for those who got in and then they tell their friends. So there was like this opportunity to kind of continue to give in, like invest and give also because people were also investing and giving also. So it was like just it was an organic like relationship we were creating with our customers, not just, oh, well, we didn't want it to be a transaction. We wanted to kind of create a community. And that was one of the things we thought about, like how we can make this a community or a transaction versus it just being a subscription that you just buy and you go, you try it and there's no conversation. It was, hey, how do you like it? What do you think? We were asking people for information about how we're doing because it's also a good measurement of knowing if we're we're on track because we're human, we make mistakes, we overlook something, weren't aware of something, so we try to if we're going to get the right feedback, it would be from the people that we're servicing. So that was also another way we realized that this was how you begin that process is to learn from those who you're serving.
So being a monthly subscription box, you have to get all new products every month, right?
Yep.
I'm thinking that's already hard. Well, I know that's already hard in itself, but then having a partner that you have to like decide together what items to bring in for that month, like how is that? Give me the tea on that. Like, does one person delegate and like, okay, I'm in control of this? Like, how does that work? Because I know for us, like even a new product, me and my husband probably go back a million times. Like, no, this is not coming to market. No. But in a subscription box, it's like every month. So like how does that go? Give me a rundown.
Oh, okay. You wanna know what's going on? Well, not technically in the bedroom, but in the boardroom.
In the boardroom.
Tugging war. Honestly, sometimes I have to kind of play the role of like a compromising partner in the sense of business, not like the wife, because like you have to kind of remember like, okay, we're partners now, and then whatever time we shut off the business, now we're wife and husband, or husband and wife, excuse me. So we want to make sure that if I decide a product should go in the box, I say, hey, I want to try this, or I say, you know what, I definitely think that looking at what people have been saying, or just what I realized, like seeing how people have been saying, pointing out this product, or I myself seen it and say, you know what, this is something definitely we should spotlight for customers, because oftentimes the brands themselves are trying to like connect with the consumer, and so we're kind of like the vessel to that. And excuse me, so when it comes to decisions, Dino and I often sometimes look at like a checklist and see like, okay, well, has it like has it been, is it on the shelf, or is it just like, let's see what else is going on with this product? Is there anything else that we can kind of create a story around? Or I've tested myself. As you can see, I'm natural. So sometimes I'll say, look, I like, like the texture, I like how my hair responds to it. Let's see how other people feel about it. And then in some sense, if he's not too sure about it, I just kind of say, well, I don't know. What do I say sometimes when we don't agree on that? Because now she want to know the tea. And I don't know.
That's true, Dino. Dino is there like,
you have to pull apart
that's not what happened.
Well, I
Dino is
think
there like, that's not what happened, girl.
I know.
well, I think the key is having, like, before you even get into the process of trying to pick products or what's going to go to market, have a conversation on what are the criteria that the products have to have that are even going to be considered.
Yes. That is
so that could eliminate a lot of the conversation. If, like, for some of the products, there might be 5 or 6 checkpoints that it has to hit. So if it doesn't hit those, then it's not even a consideration. As much as one person may or may not like the product, it still has to fit within things that we're going to do. And sometimes you may make an exception, but for us, since we're introducing people to so many different things, we really have to, it might not be in there this month. It might be something, because we're planning like at least 3-4 months at a time.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to get slotted somewhere in the next 3 months, even if you just hear about it now.
Yeah, I think having a conversation and seeing like where we would like line it up. And that's exactly how it kind of works out. Like oftentimes we're not butting heads. It's just looking at like where it falls in line in our, entire structure of when we do the campaigns, because they're done in the sense that we try to make sure the products kind of connect with the story that we're building around it. And so if I do like a product, and it happens to not fall in the month that I want to try it or I want other people to try it, Dino rationalizes with me and say, hey, it's not going to be in here this month, but it will, let's try to create a story and or organic structure to it. Let's not just throw it in the box. So he's the voice of reason. I would definitely say he brings me back down to like ground level.
Heather level.
I can sometimes get kind of float into not like saying like I'm out of there and I don't like think common sense about it, but does kind of bring back to hitting all the checkpoints that we need in order to just like push it out and make sure other people are experiencing the same product that we think is worth trying.
Got it. And in terms of the product selection, are you guys reaching out to the product makers, or I'm sure you get tons of email requests like, hey, can my product get in your box? So like, how do you handle that?
It's a lot. It's a combination of usually like people reaching out, not knowing like, oh wow, okay, wait, let's see who we can where we can line you up.
Got you.
Well, it's funny, is like Heather said, it is a combination of both. Definitely in the beginning, it was us reaching out to everybody. They didn't know who Curlkit was, but over time, as our reputation is built, now we're getting brands reaching out to us, some brands that we've never even dealt with, that have new products that they're bringing to market that want to be launched and introduced and get tested by our subscriber base. They're reaching out to us, as well as brands that we featured in the past that are going to coming out with a new product. They also want to come back and feature the new product, which I think is excellent. It's a testament to that we're doing a good job, that the customers are happy, the brands are getting great exposure, great feedback. So they're happy too, and they want to make sure that they're getting their products featured. We've actually featured quite a few products. We were the first people to, before it was in stores. Like our subscribers were like the beta testers that got to try it out first, even before anybody in the country. So we're definitely proud about that.
Yeah, they definitely trust our marketing strategy, and we definitely appreciate being reached out to. And I think again we established our relationship with them, let them know, hey, we're here to get your product out there and connect with the consumers, that the right consumers you want to talk to.
That's awesome. And how many boxes are you guys currently shipping out?
Currently, I believe it's a little bit over 12,000. We're on probably between 12 to 13, but it fluctuates from month to month.
From 75. That's a dream. What would you say is the most challenging part of working with your spouse? And each of you can answer.
You can go ahead.
Okay. Well, for me, I think it's had touched on it briefly, but just setting the boundaries, kind of when you're at work and trying to shut off from the business, which as an entrepreneur, like pretty much almost never happens. But you don't want to be at the dinner table talking about your business versus what's going on and have an opportunity to connect with your spouse. So definitely setting some boundaries between your work life and business life, and try your best not to have them like overlap to where it's kind of crowding out one or the other.
I agree. Like, we're oftentimes in a situation where we'll have dinner and I'll say, you know what, can we just put our phones down? You know, because we want to kind of etch out a moment of like, let's just connect with us. Because to tell you honestly, Curlkit started literally during our honeymoon phase. Because we got married in 2011. And then we we toyed around the idea literally during our, like, when we just got married, is the idea of me moving in his area kind of was that kind of beginning of the, let's find a way to kind of solve the issue. So you're talking about a newlywed couple still, you know, figuring out each other, and now a business in the sense kind of was birthed before our children that we had. So it was like we were kind of, you know, it was like we were forming something from between us both, and it kind of became somewhat like of our little project for us. So we kind of looked at it as, this is a business, and then this is our marriage. And we, not saying we never they never commingle, but they obviously, we try not to make sure you take some time off for each other. And that's what we do. We try not to let so much of it consume us. We take little, we call micro vacations, even if it means 2 days at a hotel and sleep and shut off all the stuff that, you know, obviously comes. We do, like, I literally enjoy just going up to the closest, like, decent hotel with a pool and, like, you know, room service, and just chill, like, do something that's just, like, you know, spontaneous in some sense and not too out there. But it still kind of reminds you, like, hey, we still have something between us, and not just let the business be a constant everyday thing.
And what are what would you say is the best part about working with your spouse?
Well, for me, I think the best part is
Say something nice.
that we're doing and everything that we're building is building a legacy for our family. As pretty much out of everyone we know, we're the only ones right now that have really taken this crazy entrepreneur journey. And I like the fact that the growth and the success, I've been able to share that with my wife. So we've been able to travel, see the world. We've been able to do things that a lot of people aren't able to go. And even if it's for business, we've still gotten to see cities, and there's no other person that I'd want to go and take this journey with than my wife. So I get to enjoy versus if I was just doing business with somebody else and I'm on some business, whatever, with some random people from work that I hardly don't like anyway.
All facts.
Facts. That's definitely, I can say that having a partner when, like, there's times when I just feel really just strained and stressed and not sure how to deal with the lows of the business, because, you know, you'll have those lows. You have someone that can kind of, like, help kind of fill in some of the voids of just, like, why is it hard? Why is this hurting? And he's like my John Maxwell in my head. Because, like, Dino, like I said, he's very he's the type of person, he's very strong, and I guess coming from that, already kind of entrepreneurial like culture, because he's from family members who run businesses, not like ours. And then he's just capable of being able to say, hey, we're not going to always have, sunny days. Whereas for me, I'm not saying that I fold like a launcher, but it kind of like my emotions start to kind of surface, and he'll be like, all right, let me put my shoulder out there and you can lean on it, because I think that's what's so awesome about having a partner in business. You have someone where you can like, cry on when it really gets hard. And, those are good. It's really cathartic for me because when I cry, I'm letting it out. Somebody hears it and, and he'll be like, okay, now dust yourself off and get back up. Put your big girl panties on. Let's do this. And I'm like, okay. So it's awesome. I love that.
And then the last business question I have for you guys is, for anyone looking to start a subscription-based business, what advice do you have for them?
Well, the first thing that I would say is make sure whatever business that you're getting into, that you definitely have a passion for it, because you never know where this business is going to take you. And the last thing you want to do is start something that's like you're putting yourself into another prison, or you start a business of something that you don't really enjoy, because with the option that you enjoy, or you have a passion for, or have an interest in, you're not going to want to go the extra mile. You're not going to want to do the live video, write the blog post, or do any of those things for something that you weren't passionate about to begin with. And hopefully it's something that you can connect with your target audience. If you're not that target person yourself, at least you want to be doing something that you have a really close, intimate relationship with that audience, so that you can definitely be able to solve their problem, because either you know it intimately, or you know the language, or you can speak it, or you're real close to those people.
I would say that what comes to me for what I want to like to let someone know is it's okay if it doesn't work the first time around. Many times, like, people think that once they start something, it has to like take off. And if you don't see the results right away, look, assess it, look and see where you're going with it. And it's okay to fail forward. I always remind myself that failure is not, it's a lesson learned. It's what it's going to see, like how it's going to help you mold the next thing you're going to do. So be okay at, the failures also. They're also helping you to, they're like small measurements to help you like get to the next thing that you're supposed to do or what you should do. So just keep working at something that you love. If it's something you want to do, just, look for support. Like, it's also awesome to connect, especially now with Facebook and these communities. Facebook and Facebook groups is a great place to be able to find people with common, ground of like business, and join support, it's not support groups, but more like conferences and things that are, in that arena that you're looking to be in. And that's a good place to begin. Like learning how to, groom yourself into where you want to go.
I just have one last point to add also, especially in the social media world that we're living in now.
Yeah.
The entrepreneur journey is like a roller coaster. You got ups and downs, highs and lows. And what kind of isn't spoken about much in the entrepreneurial community is a lot of times people might get depressed and nobody's not really talking about like what they're going through. And I think a big problem is just people comparing, on social media, the highlights that you see people going through, and thinking that's what the entrepreneur's life is like. People are only posting pictures on like planes and on trips, and don't compare where somebody else that might be either further along from you or whatever. You just stay focused on what you're trying to do, and just keep your head down and keep going. I think that'll help a lot of people who are just starting out. and not trying to compare like your first chapter with somebody's
20th chapter.
20th chapter.
It is true. I definitely, and I'm glad, I'm sorry, I wanted to say one more thing that, and I always remember this post, it was saying that success is not a straight line, because of course you're going to see the peaks and the valleys. And that also is just a remnants of like, you know, looking at people's gram pictures of like, you know, they flossing in their, you know, their success. That was your chapter 20, you know. You can't look at it. What about chapter 15 and 7 when, you know, things weren't, you know, at its best, but they kept at it. So definitely, I agree with that.
That was excellent advice. I'm gonna take some of those notes. And now we're gonna go into my fun round.
We got a fun round? Oh,
Fun round.
Yay!
But there's a catch.
Okay.
With the fun round, when I have a fellow Jamaican on, we do the fun round by speaking in patois. And since Dino, we know you're not a Jamaican, but tonight you're gonna be a Jamaican, right? Because I'm sure because you've been around your wife, you probably picked up something, right?
Hold
Dino?
on, you froze.
I said, I know Dino is not Jamaican, but
You Jamaican born.
tonight you're Jamaican.
You Jamaican born. He just ain't have the.
Tonight you're Jamaican. Dino, you ready?
Ready?
There you go. There you go. This is gonna be funny. Who are your favorite entrepreneur?
Oh, I'm gonna try to think. Geez, that caught me off guard. What would you say, Dino? Go ahead. Flex your patois.
There's Gary V. Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Both of you?
Huh?
Both of you?
No, lie. Let me say something else then. I would say Madam C.J. Walker.
Favorite business tool?
Notepad in the iPhone.
iPhone also.
Last book on a read?
Last book we read is 12-Week Year.
We're reading the same book?
Yes, I read the same book we expect. We're in a mastermind.
12-week year.
Latest business win?
We the shop site. All right, hold on. The Curlkit shop. The shop. What's that? How we say it now? The shop site. We start the shop site. Yes, 2 weeks ago.
And we're launching our subscription box course next week.
Dino ain't gonna be.
The most romantic thing Ed ever did for you, Dino?
You should have a thing.
That you can share. That you can share.
How do you go first?
The most romantic thing Dino's done. I got it. I can't believe it. I actually have to share this. Like, I'm so happy he did it. We were in Vegas and Dino, well known already, Bruno Mars was going to be there. And the whole time, the whole day, we were at this business event. And I'm like, Dino, oh man, Bruno Mars is going to be in Vegas. I wish you had told me this. I want to go. And then he's like, oh yeah, all right. And I'm just like, and I just looked at it like, man, opportunity gone. We're here. And you know how much I love Bruno Mars. And he didn't even bother to even, like, you know what I'm saying, let me know. And so all I can say is that we end up in an Uber on our way just to dinner. You know, trying to create some, you know, oh, let's leave from this networking event and let's go get food now. Let's get real food. That's what it said, something to that effect. And so anyway, we got in the car, the Uber car, and then next minute, all I know is the Uber guy said something to the effect of, oh, you want me to pull up to the theater? And I'm like, what is he talking about? But then 2 and 2 together, I come and see theater, I see Bruno Mars. And I was was like, I was so done. Listen, I went on the gram. I'm like, yo, they came through. I was so excited. He was just so thoughtful because he always find a way to try to like throw me off my guard. Like just surprise is not always his thing. Always try to make me like look bad. Like I would kind of be like in a position where I said, real, I'll be vexed or just real, annoyed, and they make me look like a piece of crap. And I'm like, where you really good at ended up for? Like it was so like, but he always find a way to like just make me look real foolish, but in a really good way. And I love that.
You talking about your seats?
Oh, girl, I'm gonna tell you, the boy get me floor seat them. I can see
talk about the seats.
Bruno Mars. Let me say it like this. All I can say is I think Bruno Mars shaved him like I can see him like his like he just was so. I literally, if bodyguards were in front of me, but me and him could just high five each other. I was so excited. Dino really came through. But Dino, what have I done? Like, don't act like.
I don't think I could top that story. That's a great cap of the interview right there. That was excellent.
He won Husband of the Year award like probably 7 times in a row now.
That was a great cap because that really shows how much Dino is appreciative of you and how you guys work together. And I just love that. This was an amazing interview. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out to talk to us and share your journey with us. And we are rooting for you. We're rooting for your marriage, your business, because Black love and marriage, we're going to make this work. We're going to do representation. We're going to show that it can be done. So thank you guys for being an amazing example of that. And I'm sure as many of our listeners, you inspire us all. Like you really do. And your journey has been so inspiring. I know I told you that, Heather, before I even met you. Like, I know you, I was like, I like you. I love you. And she was like, well, I like you. I love you. And I'm like, but no, I really like you.
Yeah.
So thank you, like, for sharing your journey with all of us. And where can we follow you? Where can we support your business? Where can we find out more about you? Anything you want to share with my audience?
Yes, I'd like to also thank you for having us on, Terry. You're a very wonderful inspiration. Like I said, I just instantaneously wanted to make sure I connect with you, and not knowing that we were going to meet at a similar event was so exciting.
But, and we almost cousin. Hey, we almost cousin.
Somewhere in Jamaica, some brown pitney, somebody named Brown. We'll find that genetic, but I know somehow in Jamaica, if you're brown and my mother's a brown, or something I'll go on, and we have to find out. But yes,
big up.
Yes, and so Curlkit is on all our channels. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, Facebook, anything I leave out, because we'll leave out
Pinterest, everything.
Social media channels out there. But we on all of them. Pinterest, Snapchat, and mostly Instagram. So if you definitely want to catch any of the latest specials and sales or any kind of special, actually, because we're on a really different platform, our shopping experience with Curlkit is going to be so different. And so we definitely, check out Instagram and how we're doing some unique things, and Facebook as well. Those 2 channels will definitely be where you want to check us out. So thank you so much. And we love to we're grateful to be part of the Dream Inspire Reality community.
Yay. And I know you guys, because I know people are going to hit me up with this. I know you guys have a course. I'm not sure if it's going on now for those who are looking to start their subscription-based business. Is that course still going on, or where can they find out more about that?
We just finished the beta of the course, so it's actually the official launch is next week. I don't know. We can get you that information.
Yes, definitely. I'll have that in the show link, guys. So if you are looking to start your business, subscription-based business, these are the people to follow and learn from because they've done it successfully. So I'm definitely going to link that information in the show notes for you guys. So again, thank you guys so much. It was an honor to have you guys on.
Thank you so much for having us on as well.
You're welcome.